creating a connector within Power Automate to provide additional functionality within your flow. It's a common occurrence, and those connectors you can see right here when you click on connectors. Let me go ahead and minimize this a little bit. So you can see all the many connectors that they have within the environment. Today, we're going to actually dive a little bit deeper into the Woo connector here, WooCommerce connector, and see how it ticks and how we need to set it up. And we're going to walk through this step by step as a reference guide for you. So please mark this video as a reference. Come back to it frequently when you're trying to build other connectors, and you may help you along this process. So let's go ahead and jump to it. So here we're going to build a connector in Power Automate, and one of these days I promise I'm going to send this out as a book, so everybody has all of these quick tips to navigating the Power Suite. But let's focus on this one today. So the key thing that I wanted to show on this screen right here is confirm that you have premium connectors associated with your Power Automate license. Now, chances are, if you show the little diamond figure, let me see here if I can see what it looks like. This isn't a pure indicator that it's a premium, but you know that based on this rock here, this, I guess, a diamond, you know that this is a premium connector required. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have that enabled on your account. So you're going to need to check with your Power Automate admins to make sure premium connectors is a purchase service. This is a purchase service that costs so much a month. So once you do that, you're going to go ahead and go in and check these connectors out. So, and this is pretty simple. It's right here under Data Connectors. It's pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and just click through this real quick. You just click on Data, then Connections, and then you can do either a new connection or edit a connection. And then you just want to have Woo down there. So if it's a new connection, you just click on New and you select WooCommerce. And if you have to edit it, you just click on Edit. So that's pretty easy. Once you get the connector up and running, you're going to want to have, be able to change that information due to the sensitive nature of the information. I'm just going to show it to you as a screenshot here. But when you look at this, you're going to need, and you get this from WordPress. So if you don't know where this is, search the internet, use your browser and search information on WooCommerce connectors, and you'll be able to see it. And what you're going to want is the URL to the site, the consumer key, and the consumer secret key, and then you're going to want to hit save. And once that happens, it's going to create the connector. Now, you may be tempted to go back and edit it and see if the data is saved, and it doesn't. But if you did not connect it correctly, you will not see, you'll not see this screen, actually. You will not see this screen that allows you to select the resource type. And I wish I would have taken a snapshot of that, but I didn't. But basically, it tells you there's no resource available and you won't get a drop down. So if you don't see this drop down, that means that this information was not entered correctly. Okay? So just make sure it's kind of a checkpoint. So let's go ahead and take a look at this inside of this environment. So here we go. So this is the connector, and it's kind of a nice connector in the sense that you don't have a whole bunch of triggers within Power Automate, just one. But notice here, if I click on coupon, for example, it's going to give me all of these. And I'll just kind of ramble through these. Customer. Okay. So you can key in on any of these fields. Order. Now this happens to be the one I'm keying in on, order created. But again, you can create any of them. Order note. I'm just going to go through these. There's none in order note. Just so that you can kind of see all of the connectors and triggers associated with those. There's product. As you're making this decision, especially if you're just watching this video and not actually doing the work and you're wondering, well, what exactly is the extent of the WooCommerce connector and Power Automate. You're kind of seeing it now. Okay, so some of them have information and some of them don't. So we saw here really most of these top three, of course, and product have information. So we're going to key in on order, and we're just going to click on order created. So every time a new order is created, I want to collect that information. And in this example, I'm going to collect the information into a SharePoint site. So I've gone ahead and created order and order created. And I've put down some of the common errors, which I'm going to show for you here in just a minute. But, well, here's the first error that you're going to receive. So this error, it doesn't tell you anything. So this is a little bit frustrating. When you look for flow checker, which it tells you to check, by the way, you get 0 warnings and 0 errors. And it says your flow is saved but can't be used. Now this has been shortened because it used to say your flow is saved but can't be used, and then it rambled on about something about licensing. But it doesn't do that anymore. I guess it's a little more generic. So you'll want to make sure, chances are this is a licensing error. So you can Google that or use whatever search engine you use, but that's kind of a common error, and I show it right there. And let me show you the other error that you'll get when you know that you do not have the correct licensing enabled. You'll get this error. So let's go ahead and open this up so you can see that. So here you're going to see this error, and you'll see that the activity suspended, and this is the connector right here. And you'll see here that the user does not have a service plan adequate. So, and then this gives you a URL that you can look at what that service plan is. We're not going to do that today. Well, I guess we'll do it real quick here just so you can see what it looks like. And then this will kind of walk you through the differences between the standard connector, right, which is the error we received, and then what you need to do. So here it is right here. So, and then there's your pricing. So anyways, so that's how you fix that error. That's the resolution to it. And then this is just remix of that. You get that error or you get this error. And those are really that's kind of the connector. Now, I know we've talked about Woo as the connector, but this is really any connector. WooCommerce happens to be a very popular connector, so that's why it's been included in this video. But the same principles that we talked about here apply to all the connectors.